My wife and I had decided we were going to go south for the winter. We didn't have a lot of time, and there was a situation where we had to rearrange our schedule. And then there were the storms. And it just so happened that we ended up at our destination, which I had suggested that get me 3 days in Folkston, Georgia, and you can go anywhere you want, Kathy. And she said, great. So we just took off, drove 300 miles a day, maybe, relaxed in the evening, and went out to eat, got up, drove a little bit, just got out of the cold and avoided those ice storms in northern Alabama and northern Georgia. We did see snow in Alabama. And we made our reservation halfway down for our bed and breakfast in Folkston. And we arrived there on Valentine's Day. It's very nice and a beautiful day. And the next morning, February 15th, I'm sitting at the Folkston Funnel, the straight run of track through Folkston, 100 trains a day, many of them high speed, CSX and Amtrak and Amroad, and others, KC Southern, and trains are wonderful. I'm sitting there in the morning, about 8 a.m., 9 a.m. maybe. Kathy is shopping, and there with my windows down and boy, Adam sent me the right way when he said, Dad, I have a car for you, and I bought this LTZ. It is nice. And little cruise, it goes turbocharged, got the little wheel, high aspect ratio wheeled, 18-inch rims on a little car, 38 miles to the gallon, but it's turbocharged, and it will go manual and or automatic. Got the nav system, radio, whole 9 yards. I love it. So does Rufus. And the guy pulls up to me, and I'm sitting there, the track's in front of me, and I'm sitting there, the windows are down, because you're listening for train whistles in the distance. Train whistle, hear it, you get up, get out of the car, maybe get your iPhone or your camera or whatever. Other people there, maybe there's 2 or 3 cars there. Beautiful morning, maybe 55, 60, February 15th, on the Georgia-Florida border, 20 miles inland from the Atlantic. This guy pulls in next to me, backs in this nice Mustang GT, brum, 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 brum. Wild can, a little bit white, just like mine, same color, but a Ford. His windows are down too. The guy's elderly, a little bit older than I am, and he backs it in nice and whatever, and turns it off. And I say, nice car. And he said, thank you, and whatever. I said, is it a Shelby? Oh, Shelby? No, nobody gets to drive a Shelby. Shelby salesmen don't get to drive a Shelby. Can't drive a Shelby. Shelby, $70,000. Can't drive a Shelby. And I go, ooh, okay. I said, I had a chance to drive one last last summer, nobody gets to drive a Shelby. Salesman can't even drive a Shelby. Shelby $70,000. No, you can't drive a Shelby. No. Okay. And go on, I didn't say anything more or anything like that. The guy's maybe he's not 80. He looks very pleasant, looks intelligent, but he doesn't talk kind of right. And he I think he gets out of his car and he walks a little bit funny or whatever, and he's over by the train. The train comes or whatever. And maybe we're there for 20 minutes or so, and Kathy comes back from the store, and there's all her stuff, and then, but we're watching for the trains or whatever for a while. It's wonderful. We were going to go to the National Wildlife Refuge for maybe a couple of hours. And time was getting close. And this guy, he's still around, and the 3 or 4 guys, most of them older people like me, sitting around, train lovers, we had come 1,300 miles. Just happened to be there on this day. We kind of planned it, okay, but it was kind of a last minute deal that it happened to be this day. 1,300 miles from our home in northern Michigan. And this guy's around, and he says, he approaches me, and by now he's got an ice cream bar. It's not really ice cream bar weather. It's more like about, it is 11 in the morning maybe, and but it's not mid 60s really, but and it's dripping. The ice cream bar is kind of dripping, and this man's, he's a gentleman and whatever, and he says to me, he says, you talk funny. Where are you from? And I said, well, I'm from Michigan. He goes, oh yes, I knew a guy. I said, I'm from. Most people would say when you're from Michigan. I went to school in Iowa, and everybody says, and I'd say, I'm from Michigan. How far are you from Detroit? Well, I was closer in Iowa to where I live than Detroit is from where my home is. And so I went through this is Michigan, 2 hands, okay, 2 mittens, okay, 2 peninsulas, okay, and I showed them where we were, okay, 100 miles north of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I said, I'm from Kingsford, Michigan, Kingsford, Iron Mountain, Michigan. He said, oh, I knew a guy from there. Once. He called it Steel Hill, And meanwhile, his ice cream's dripping down his face, or down, it's dripping down his chin and onto his shirt, and Kathy's right there. She put her stuff away, and I'm very congenial and nice, there's no problem. It's just this guy's, you run